We have here verse 2 of the 8th chapter of the Gospel of John. This is the lead up to the famous story of the woman taken in adultery. We've indicated from the previous verse that Jesus went to the Mount of Olives, apparently, as John tells it, spending the night there. We don't know if he went on from there to some more standard residence, but in any event, we pick up the story now, early the next morning, with this unusual word. This is the word orthrou. It's from orthros, which means early in the morning. It's actually a noun, a masculine noun. It's used here in the genitive, what's called the genitive of time, when, and so this is actually indicating the time frame, early in the morning. And so the story picks up at this point. Jesus has been, of course, spending the night somewhere, and now he comes back. So we have death, the postpositive, but early in the morning, palin, the adverb means again, palin, parageneto. This is from paragenomai. Genomai, of course, means I become. Paragenomai means I become in the sense of arriving. I show up. I arrive somewhere. This happens to be the third person singular, aorist active indicative of this deponent verb, and so Jesus arrived is the idea. So early in the morning, the next morning, Jesus arrived. Ace, preposition, takes the accusative. Here's the neuter accusative article plus the noun hieron. So he arrived into the temple. This, of course, is the outer precincts of the temple, one of the courts of the temple, and he's there picking up, really, in some ways where he left off the previous day, according to the chronology we'd find in John, assuming this story follows in sequence, which is, of course, hotly debated. But in any event, if it does follow from the preceding story, it'd be the day after the last day of the Feast of Tabernacles. So Jesus comes now back into this area, Kai and Pas. This is from pas, pasa, pon, which means all or every, depending on whether it's singular or plural. Here it's going to be singular, so all, ho laos, the crowd, laos, of course, the word for laity we get from that word. Laos means all the crowd or all the people. Erketo, all the people. Erketo, came. From erkamai, I come. This is the imperfect active indicative, third person singular. So they were coming is the idea. So Jesus arrives in the temple. All the people are coming. Pros, preposition takes the accusative. Pros auton, coming to him. Kai, and kathisos, from kathidzo, I sit down. This happens to be the aorist active participle, masculine, singular, nominative, referring to Jesus, and so would be the idea of having sat down. Then Jesus, edidesken. This is from didasko, I teach. This happens to be the third person singular, imperfect active indicative. So Jesus was teaching autus them. So we have Jesus back in the temple area. The people have gathered, probably those who were more friendly toward him, more favorably disposed toward him, and he's teaching them, and this is going to go on for a while when, of course, the scene will be dramatically interrupted by the religious leaders who are going to do everything they can to try to trip Jesus up with this rather difficult and somewhat embarrassing situation with which he's confronted of the woman who's been taken in the very act of adultery.